I had this diary. The door got really slammed hard. My boy craziness led me to chaos, lots of chaos. I was sitting on the bedroom floor with my knees crawled up like a baby, crying, drinking wine, trying to drown out the pain, trying to find an escape. My codependency led to the darkest experience of my life that led me to Jesus Christ. Find out now.
All right. Where do I begin on this one? So after I had I had graduated, I moved in with a family member, and I started meeting people, and I started drinking more. And I ended up meeting like a group of different people. And one of the guys that we're going to keep this brief because I want to, I'm not going to bring up any names in this, but I ended up falling in love with my very first serious long-term relationship. And I became really controlling. I had never been in a serious relationship by this point, but I was drinking. I had a group of people that I was really, really involving myself with. And, I was only I think I had just turned 19 when this all happened, right? You remember what it was like to be a 19-year-old, right? We've all been there. But I started drinking a lot. I don't want to sit here and claim to be some alcoholic because I was never an alcoholic. I want to be very clear, you guys. I just got drunk every weekend. I drank a lot, but I was never drinking every day. But my weekends, it was a consistent, let's go get drunk, let's have some fun. That was kind of where my life was at. And I was 19, right? So it's just such a normal age to be doing that stuff. Anyways, but I'm going to keep this brief, like I said, but I started taking birth control, and I started drinking with my birth control. I don't want to dive too deep on this too much, because this was probably one of the most this was a time in my life where I am the most, I've forgiven myself for this, but I was such a wreck. I was so toxic, and I was so I had no idea. The reason why I'm putting my head down is because this was one of my most shameful memories of my past, because I was so ignorant, and I had no idea what I was doing. I had never been in a serious relationship before, and I was just unhealthy. I was controlling. I was aggressive and angry. I was, my intentions for this person were good. I was so worried about them at the time, but I went about it in such an unhealthy, toxic way that I ended up, obviously we're not together, right? But we've moved past it, and we have forgiven each other and stuff like that. We're totally chill. But yeah, I would say that don't mix birth control with alcohol, guys. It's not a good idea. It's not like I was taking birth control and then alcohol at the same time, but I was on birth control while getting drunk. And I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it was the most dramatic thing. Like, there's obviously worse things to take with alcohol, but it was just a mess, you guys. Like, that time of my life was just so, like, I think and I've been through different seasons of my life and different things that have been a struggle, but like, this is a moment in my life where, like, it took me 3 years to forgive myself for how I treated this person. Like, I was awful. And I forgive myself, like, I'm past it, but like, it's just not really a time in my life that I'm, and super stoked to talk about. But this is a docu-series, you guys. We're just gonna talk about it. So anyways, after we broke up, and I can't believe I'm sharing this with you guys. He was my very first love, and sorry. I don't want to say names, but after we broke up, because he was my very first love, I collapsed on the stairs. I was working with somebody, and I wouldn't say I like collapsed as in like fainted, but like, if you have ever, listen, guys, listen. I'm sure I'm not the only one who knows what it feels like to lose your first love. I was so heartbroken. This was like my first serious long-term relationship. And after we broke up, a friend had to take me to the hospital because I was feeling dizzy, and I pretty much like was so, like, I was crying for days, and it was bad. Like, I had to go to the hospital because I could not handle the pain. I ended up talking to a crisis nurse, and yeah, I was sitting on the stairs, and I was so messed up that I like started falling. I want to say collapse. That's probably a little dramatic, but like, definitely, luckily, like, someone took me to the hospital, and it was just like so bad. Like, I could not breathe. Like, I was so devastated about this breakup, because this was the very first person that I ever like deeply loved, and I screwed it up. I mean, obviously we both played our part, but I was awful. And, like I said, luckily we've moved past it, but like, after that happened, this is probably this is one of my biggest regrets in life. I have to say, I used to have, I know I'm not the only woman who has done this, okay? But I have always had naturally beautiful long hair, okay? When you decide to cut most of your hair off, really think twice, girls. Don't go chopping all your hair off over a boy. It's not worth it. I literally, after we broke up, I started working out, and I went through my process, but I started smoking weed a lot more, and I ended up meeting a group of girls, and I chopped a lot of my hair off. Like, you know what? Maybe I'll add a picture. I'll add a picture in here to show you guys, but I'll show you guys the photo. And that picture was taken literally not too long after I chopped my hair off. I didn't chop all my hair off, but like, my hair used to be like this right here. These are extensions. But like, my hair used to be even longer than this, and I chopped off like so much, and I went down to like here. And it's honestly something I still regret to this day, because I have not been able to grow. Like, it's been practically like over 10 years since I did that, and I can't grow my hair back properly. So ladies, be really careful. But yeah, I definitely regret cutting my hair off. But anyways, after that, I lost a lot of weight. I started working out, and excuse me. I ended up partying a lot, and I remember, gosh, man. I remember meeting somebody else who I like developed a crush on, and like me and him and a group of us all went and visited our friend in a different town, and we like went to the club, and like I was like I had like a little crush on this person. We both kind of liked each other. I'm not gonna say names, but he probably knows. If he's ever watches this, he probably knows who he is. But anyways, we're way past that. Actually, we've ran into each other a couple times. I've actually seen him around town sometimes, but really great guy, really nice guy. But we don't need to go into that part. But my point is we had like this like crush on each other, but like I did not know how to date. I didn't know how to, like, I was so violent. Oh my gosh. And when I say violent, like with my words, like I was such a little rebel. Like, not, let me rephrase that. I was not violent in like, let me rephrase that. I was just so like, violent is not the right word. Territorial, very like, if you don't like me now, blah, 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 blah. And I did not know how to communicate. I was just so like possessive and codependent. Like I was just so possessive and codependent. I didn't allow people to like take their time with how they felt about me. Like it was just like, I was just such a mess, guys. Like I really was. And after that, I ended up, goodness gracious. Sorry guys, it's just like, it's hard. I'm not laughing because this is funny. This is serious. This is serious stuff we're talking about here. I don't know. I'm not laughing because this is funny. I'm laughing because it's so ridiculous how I acted. So, forgive me. And besides, I also do want to I do like to make my viewers laugh. So if you get a little humor from me in my docu-series, well, this is part of my personality. Anyways, so I ended up with someone else for 1.5 years after that. And, oh God, this is so embarrassing. I don't want to admit this. This is so embarrassing. Oh gosh. You know what? We're doing it though. This is such an embarrassing episode. All right, whatever. Good thing the past stays in the past. I ended up dating this person and I used them. I was never actually attracted to them. I broke this person's heart. Like I was with them for 1.5 years. I did love them. I won't lie. There were genuine feelings there, but I was if only swearing wasn't a sin, but like, gosh, I was such a, excuse my language, but I was such a, wow. Like just, oh my gosh, I was so rude. Anyways, I used this person and this person fell in deep love with me and, I used them and I was not attracted to them. I was embarrassed to be seen with them. And I used them to get over my first love because that was how I coped. And that's when, like, that's how my codependency cycle happened, right? Like, codependency was so much more than, like, being addicted to relationships, but it was also, like, an avoidance for me. Like, it was really hard for me to stay single because I didn't have the tools that I have now for me to actually give myself the proper time to heal from a relationship. And so yeah, I did, and I hurt people along the way. Like I am not the only one who has suffered from these relationships. Like I have caused pain too, guys. Like I am not perfect. I have made mistakes and and I've apologized. Like I have redeemed myself. I have completely changed. I'm not that person anymore. But yeah, I was so ignorant and so selfish. And like, although from the outside, like I used to have an Instagram where I had all these different posts of me partying and living all this like, I was living this like crazy party life, but I was also just like, I was just in my ego phase. Like, I was in a my stuff don't stink kind of area of like phase of my life, and I hurt people along the way. And so we have every person that I've hurt or they have hurt me, like I've moved past it. And so I want you guys to know, like, everything you guys are hearing on this docuseries are all things from a long time ago. And like, I am such a different person. It's just like, it's just weird having to revisit this because it's like, oh my gosh, this is like, it's just embarrassing. But at the same time, if my story and my journey helps somebody, then I'm happy to share this. But yeah, briefly happy. Just so it's weird. But anyways, so yeah, anyways, and then after we broke up, I ended up with another person. It's not funny. Sorry, guys. I ended up with another person. I'm not laughing because I'm sorry, guys. This is just so. Oh, I just went through men like a pair of socks, man. Like, it's just like, this is so crazy. Then I dated another person after him, but this was a person that I actually went to school with, and yeah, that didn't last long. I don't think I ever really spent more than like 3 to 6 months alone in between these relationships, if I'm being really honest with you guys. I'm just gonna bluntly say this. I was weak. I'm just gonna be straight with you guys. I was weak. I did not have the mental ability or strength to handle the pain. I have always been a very sensitive person who feels things deeply. And when I lost somebody, or when I hurt someone, or when I got broken up with, or when it destroyed me. Like, it felt like the end of the world. And so like, there was the reason I hopped from men to men was so much more than just being addicted to being with somebody. It was a way I coped. It was a way I coped because I did not know how to grieve. I did not know how to like if you ask some of my friends and family, like, my pain, gosh, when Jenna's in pain, it's like the world has ended. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I've always been so sensitive. And I think, and we're in episode 6, we're going to go into where I'm at now and how I cope now. But if it wasn't for Jesus, truly, like, I don't know if I would be where I'm at today, but I just didn't know how to cope, you guys. The only way I knew how to cope was either smoking weed, drinking, or being in another relationship and seeking instant gratification. That's the truth. So if you hear me laugh, it's not because I'm laughing because it's a good thing. I'm laughing because it's ridiculous, because I can look back at that old version of myself and like recognize how unhealthy that was, but also be able to like, give myself grace, like and recognize that like I'm so different now. And so, yeah, it's just, if I laugh, it's just because to me, it's so silly now. But yeah, after that ended, I just continued partying with my girlfriends, and then I ended up moving in, and I'm going to keep this brief. I'm probably not going to be bringing this up on the docuseries because I want to respect the other person, but I did end up moving in with one of my best friends after all that. But I'm not going to bring that up. We're not going to talk about that on this docuseries because this docuseries is not about my friendships necessarily. This docuseries is about healing from my codependency. So, but yeah, I just ended up partying a lot. And then, dun, dun, dun. And then I guess you guys will have to find out next episode. Stay tuned.